Recreation Committee meeting, October the 9th, 2007. Called to order. Roll call. Everyone is present. And Ms. Fontenot, would you make the invitation?
I will. Father, we just come before you tonight. Father, we just give you honor and praise. We're so grateful for the mighty parish that we live in. We're grateful for all our many blessings. Tonight we particularly want to bring forth our youth, Father, as we discuss the business of the parish tonight that deals with them. May you give us creative ideas, and may you give us the finances that we might keep our children busy and happy and off the streets with good guidance from the adults in this parish who volunteer. We thank you for those, Lord. Tonight we also thank you and are grateful for all those that serve our parish, our nation, and our world, Father God, with their lives, Father, as they fight for the freedoms of others across the way. We ask for their safe return home, Father, and we ask for a quick end to the war. And we ask that you guard and protect our borders and our gates with your glory. In Jesus' name we thank you and praise you. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a public comment period. No one have signed up for public comment period. We can move on to number 4, and that's recreation update by Director Cheryl Kinchin.
Okay, I'm going to start. We had a thing on the slide, but we had a typo on it. But I wanted to tell you about our Apple program that we received a grant for to start the pilot program. I think Councilman Joseph came out the last time that we had it, as well as Councilman Savoy. And I hope that he can give you a personal accounting of what an enjoyable day it was and how rewarding it was for us as well as the participants. I can't find my newspaper article. Here it is. We made the Advocate, and again, we are the pilot program for the state of Louisiana, and we think that's a good thing. Having said that, if you look in your packet, I put you a flyer for October the 27th. That will be our official kickoff. We are planning a 4 to 7 evening, so you have plenty of time. When we planned it, we thought that LSU would be playing later, and we have since found out that maybe they might get moved up, but it is an away game, so you should still have time to get home and watch them. Okay. Thank you, Trent. Did he take my little machine? Anyway, he's going to show you some pictures, hopefully, from our last day. You can see that the kids played t-ball, and we had parachute activities. We had a few track and field things. You should probably ask Councilman Joseph about the face painting experience that he had. He can tell you that those little children were very, very focused, and some of them are even future leaders. They give directions very freely. Parents must attend these functions with their children. It's a positive behavior support, which is what the focus is. This is when they were painting their cookies in our community center. We've encouraged Betsy, the lady on the right, is the director of the program. She has been absolutely wonderful. She is a gifted young lady, and she is going to be a wonderful teacher in our system. So you can see that we had a volleyball net set up with a big soft volleyball. We had the parachutes. We let the kids go under. We tried to structure the activities to their needs. It was absolutely one of the most rewarding things I've done as recreation director, and I'm very, very proud of that program. He's going to show you the rest, and I think he's coming up on the last one. The pictures are absolutely beautiful. The parents are delighted. I hope that Oliver Joseph can tell you some of the comments that he got from the parents, and we are trying to extend that program to other parks in our parish. The general upkeep at parks, Amco Fence has been given the contract for Darrow, Jackie Robinson Stevens, and Sanama. Those parks have been assessed, and work should begin this week. Darrow Community Center has a brand new central unit. It was going to cost us about $8,000 to repair and overhaul the old unit, as opposed to $10,000 for a new unit. So Darrow now has a new central unit. The renovations at Oak Grove are ongoing. We also have started our trail at Highway 621 with an $18,500 grant. On September the 16th, we had a skate demonstration from the American Ramp Company, and if Trent would pull that video up, you can see how that went. We had over 200 people. We had over 100 skaters, and I will just let you enjoy that. This was the first time that American Ramp Company, had done an indoor demonstration.
I skate in Hammond when I skate, and they have a crowd of people, and sometimes I skate at home and learn.
While no one's talking, I'll tell you that to receive a Tony Hawk Foundation grant, which is what we are trying to acquire, you must have, the facility must handle inline skating, skateboards, and BMX bikes. So we actually would be kind of filling 3 needs as opposed to just one. You can probably see that we had some people there on scooters. We had a couple of bikes. We didn't have any inline skaters, but we had a great many skateboarders. They seem to regulate themselves. At some point, I thought about trying to control and put lines. Her brother is a skateboarder, and she is apparently becoming passionate about it as well. But apparently at skate parks, they regulate their behavior, and as you can see, they...
Well, when we lived in Texas, we skated at a skate park called Dave's Skate Park, and we dropped in a lot of the ramps, the 6-foot quarter pipe, and 7-foot roll-in, and all that. I can do most of the stuff in there, but I haven't been there in a while since I moved here.
This was the contest that the American Ramp Company put on.
Oh, not really. We go to Velodrome once or twice, but that's about it.
All I can say is that they can skate up in Baton Rouge. They run us out all the time. We're looking for a place to skate. Park. Nice park. On this board right here. Have competitions, you know. A lot of people like to skate, as you can see. We need a park. We got too many baseball fields out here. We need a park.
All right, so I guess some places that we always go skate at, it just would be downtown Baton Rouge, around Gonzales, Catfish Banks in downtown Baton Rouge.
Hammond, but it's a long drive.
Hammond, but it's just way too far of a drive, you know. Gas is very expensive, and then we got to stay out there, and I mean, everybody's got to throw up gas money or something, so you carpool.
I go to New Orleans.
Yeah.
New Orleans every once in a while is a fun spot.
New Orleans is definitely a trip, but the whole time you're out there, you got to worry about getting stopped by the cops. Anywhere you go, you got to worry about the cops, and just...
The Lafayette parks, they cost money.
Oh,
Yeah. Cost what, $15?
Yeah.
15.
Expensive. $15 if you want to rent a helmet.
So about $15 to go skate on the weekends. any ages.
Maybe old guys, too.
Once you're 18, you can sign your own waivers or whatnot.
Which makes it a lot easier.
Makes it a lot easier, but I mean, you usually gotta get your parents to sign or whatnot, and then you got your strict rules. You gotta have helmets, you gotta have pads.
Yeah.
I mean,
So we need a public park like out in Hammond.
You know, it's a really good setup out there, though.
It's a lot of fun, great atmosphere.
Keeps kids out of trouble for the most part. Gives them a place to go without getting hassled by the cops. So.
Yeah, not destroying public property, ledges, things like that.
And, I mean, everybody's real cool. Everybody gets along. You never really have to worry about people looking at you funny or anything like that. We all out here to do what we love.
Yep.
So, but I mean, that's about it. We had an awesome time. How was y'all's time? Everybody had awesome?
everybody had a great time. It was sick.
It was sick, really sick. Nardog, straight Nardog.
Those four gentlemen are in our 18 to 25 years of age group, and they are probably our most passionate. But the average age for a skateboarder in the United States is 26 years old. Having said that, we are putting a plan together. We've asked our skaters. One of the things that you have to have with Tony Hawk is you have to have a plan, not a blueprint, but a plan. So we've asked our skaters to get together and tell us what they want. We're not sure we'll have another opportunity after this, so we want to make sure that we build it right and we do it as big as we need for it to be. I've told you about the Apple program. Hopefully you will see it on Channel 4, and you can hear some of the people talk about that particular program. The conference in Indianapolis, I had told you about a couple of months ago. I've talked to a few of you about it. I would even like to increase my travel budget so that we could have more people there. Really, that is the definitive conference on recreation and parks in America. And I was telling a couple of the councilmen before the meeting, Indianapolis was just cited for their lack of stormwater runoff after rain. So that is something that we'll probably have to deal with in the near future as well. We went to some sessions that dealt with specific needs that we had, and I'd like for you to keep in mind that when we attend these conferences, it's professional development for recreation. We are working towards certification as recreation professionals. We are moving to accreditation through the NRPA. Once we have our master plan from SJB, we will be able to move to the second component. We attended some referendum training on how to get taxes passed the best way and how to tie the right things together. We went to some sessions on public-private funding. That is a huge thing going on right now in the United States with individual corporations that are funding and sponsoring certain events. We also went into technology. There's a really big move in the United States now to make sure that we are background checking all of our volunteers and all of our coaches and all of our participants. As you know, we couldn't survive without our volunteers, but having said that, our youth are still at risk, and so that is a move that the NRPA is suggesting that everybody make. We have our fall men's softball league at Prairieville Park and our co-ed softball at Butch Gore Park. We have a major tournament this weekend with the Lady Hawks fast pitch team, and in 2 weeks we will have the National Softball Association at Butch Gore for a major tournament. Football, we have 7 leagues right now using our facilities and our school stadiums. Again, we could not survive, this program couldn't survive without somewhere for the kids to play. I think it's a really great collaboration between the school system and the parish that gives those young boys a place to play, and I guess some young women now, having seen our Sanama team last year. And I would like to say that we don't receive any funding from these football leagues. They are completely independent, but following our mission statement, providing places for everyone to play, we are just about running out of green space. We will have 2 more leagues next year, and they also are looking for places to play. We continue to try to find green spaces for them to play. And again, the mosquito control has been absolutely wonderful in making sure that we spray those facilities, even though they're not always in the parks. They may be at a facility. So they've been really, really good about spraying. And when we have requests for reunions or barbecues, we try to get mosquito control to go out. They've been really wonderful. October 23rd, we will have a disc golf meeting at the Sanama Recreation Center. They would like to meet to form an association and plan a course. We will increase the course at 621, and then hopefully we can put in an 18-hole course at another site. The baseball contract is a work in progress. Lindsay and I spoke today, and I've printed the work in progress that we have. So that is hopefully something that we can bring to fruition before the end of the year. And having said that, one of the big things that's going on now in the United States as well is recreation and police departments. The police departments seem to have one up on us with regard to who the at-risk youth are, and they are trying to develop programs to keep these kids out of juvenile detention centers and prisons as they become adults. Having said that, I think that's just about everything in recreation. I would also like to say one of the things, BREC, if you look in your package, I gave you a BREC summary, a very quick summary. I also gave you their website. If you go to the BREC.org website and you click on Imagine Your Parks, you should be able to see their plan, their vision, their objectives, and their goals. You can pretty much navigate BREC. Bill Palmer was wonderful. Anytime that you would like to take a visit, I'd be more than happy to show you around to the parks. Master planning, one of the things that stood out in our discussion is master planning is never done in-house. It's always contracted out because you then don't have that bias in there. One of the other things that's going on in the country as we move towards fitness and getting our youth back in shape, so to speak, is recreation programs in major universities. We do not have a college in the state of Louisiana that offers anything in recreation management. As a matter of fact, Ole Miss suggested that we go to LSU and tell them, well, Ole Miss has it. If anything Ole Miss has, LSU will want. But this is where the future lies. Having said that, again, I would encourage you, the conference next year is October the 14th through the 18th in Baltimore. Again, our travel budget could be expanded to some degree, but there's literally something at that conference for legislators, public works, technology, purchasing. It is that encompassing. It is a billions and billions and billions of dollars a year industry. And I would just like to say we're going to take our second donation, and we will have a full 30-acre green space park off of Highway 42. We hope to move towards planning that facility. Mount Zion and Hillaryville are on the calendar for 2008. We need to bring those to compliance, and we will put a bathroom at Southwood. Will. Having said that, if you have any questions.
Ms. Gerald Fonte?
I did have one. You said something about the football league being unfunded.
They are an independent.
They're independent.
They're independent.
I was just wondering if we allow independent football people, isn't ABA sort of independent too?
They show us their certificate of liability, and our mission statement is to provide recreational opportunities, and they are taxpayers to the parish. So we feel like they are using the parks.
And I understand that. I'm just trying to clarify because I know that the baseball do have a sign-up fee that comes to, I know that they're pretty independent too, and that they're willing to pay their own insurance.
ABA
I'm just wondering.
is a league under park.
Under park.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's the difference.
The tournament teams are not under us, but even the football teams that do use lighted facilities, $20 an hour with a minimum of 2 hours. And if anybody up there has a football player, they can probably tell you that that's how it's worked for the past few. And it's a beautiful relationship.
Did y'all ever find out about the? I think someone was looking into the fact whether we really had an ordinance to collect the 10% from the concessions.
From what I can tell, Councilwoman, it was just a recommendation, and we've not taken 10% from anyone this year.
Okay. Thank you.
And Cheryl, just to get you on that, when they found that out, that's one of the other things that we're working with Ricky to
reimburse.
Well, that's what I'm saying, the legal aspect of that. And I spoke to Mr. Trahan out there. We're going to have Ricky come here to one of our recreation meetings and really give us his legal opinion on this here. After
we need
it's
to
all
get
worked
that
out.
on the next agenda then, because we are moving on to the end of the year,
Right.
and they would like to get situated for the beginning of next year.
And that's one of the things. Well, that's what that on-hand work in progress thing is too. And that's what
Okay.
bringing Ricky on board with this whole process. So
We
Ms.
need to get
Lindsay
it done.
is working on that
Right,
part of it.
that's in legal.
Right. Okay, any more questions? All right, I have one comment. I went out to the Apple program. I know. And I wanted to tell you that all the parents out there were really excited about the program. The kids, if you thought they were shy or anything like that, no, they was they was out there having a good old time. And one gentleman, I don't recall his name, but I seen him in the little picture there, and he was the artist. And I have to tell you, he will paint you anything you want, but I guarantee you, he will tell you next, you finish. So, like I say, they wasn't shy. And I had a great time out there, and I'm glad the program here. The parents would like to see it spread around the parish, you know, and we want a lot more parents to come out there. The program is real well, and the kids, the young lady from LSU, they are really, really excited about it, working with the kids, and they show all type of energy out there. And Ms. Cheryl, I want to thank you for bringing that program.
Oh, that's Betsy. I wish I could take just half of the credit. I have to give most of that to Betsy. She walked in and she was a godsend, and it just was all faded. It just seemed to all fall into place like a puzzle, and I'm not really sure who's getting more out of that, the kids or us. It has truly been a blessed experience for me.
Yeah.
Mr. Hillman?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I'd like to thank you and your department for all the work you've done over at Oak Grove Community Center. It looks 1,000% better, and I appreciate all of everyone's hard work there. Cheryl, just a couple of questions. Cotton Bayou Park on Manchac Acres Road. You know, we received 17 acres last year, and the council accepted that through an ordinance, an act of donation. You have been negotiating for an additional 13 acres. Where do we stand on that?
I'm hoping that at the next council meeting we will accept that donation. I have requested the chairman if he would put it on the agenda. The act of donation is written. It just merely needs to be approved and accepted.
Okay.
And once we do that, we will put the sign up. My experience with signs is I'll probably get a lot of calls. So at some point in the future, I would like to have a meeting and we'll get together. The only thing we really have planned for there is we would like to put a disc golf course in.
Right, okay.
Very
and just so the public will know that you did
Absolutely.
hold a meeting at Oak Grove Community Center, and all the people from the community attended that meeting, and they decided to name it Cotton Bayou
Yes, sir.
Park.
That's correct.
So that was a community decision. Okay. Next thing, on Highway 929, how is the negotiations going on obtaining additional property on our park that belongs to the parish behind the Prairieville
Yes,
Fair Association in the front?
There's 1 acre that I am in negotiation trying to purchase. They've been very patient. The money is there. I've not moved it from my budget. So I'm hoping that that will be done by the end of the year. But what I'm thinking is that once that acre goes in there, it will then provide a nice little walkway so that that subdivision can access the park without actually going on to 929.
Right.
The property in the front that belongs to the Ascension Fair Association,
And that's the old buildings, the metal buildings,
Yes,
and
sir.
block buildings, and all right.
that particular group is in negotiation right now with the state to try to get some kind of a historical,
Right.
and so we're waiting for that
Right.
before we enter back into negotiations
Yeah.
with them. I will tell you they're not interested in donating the property or
Right.
selling the property.
Right. Well, just so
So-
you'll know, and I want everyone on the
Yes.
committee to know that I met with Mr. Tony Christie,
Yes.
and he's part of that association. And of course, Tony and I have been friends for a long time, and he told me that they were moving to have the old Prairieville Fair Association listed as on the site or the historical site of significant locations, properties around the state, and I think they're very close to accomplishing that. And I have put Martha Collins in contact with him, and Martha is trying to help him with grants to help improve the buildings that belong to the Fair Association,
Right.
that don't belong to the people of
Right.
Ascension. That's all private in the front. But I appreciate you working with Martha and everything you've done at Oak Grove, and whatever special attention you can give to what does belong to Prairieville in the back, or to the people of the Ascension Parish. I appreciate that help.
Thank you. I'll pass that on, and I would like to add that 5 of the 11 people that work for me are veterans, so I'm not sure that I will see you before Veterans Day. I don't know what the next committee is, but I believe that this year the Veterans Park Committee is going to be honoring the veterans that work for parish government. So I'm very proud to be working with those men. I'd put them up against anybody, anytime, anywhere. There's also 2 meetings that I would want to kind of finish up on. SJB is doing our assessment of our properties as part of our master plan. On the 22nd of October, which is a Monday, at 7 o'clock at the Santa Maria Recreation Center, SJB will hold a public meeting for input about the master plan. That following Thursday, the 25th of October, we will be at Geismar at 6 o'clock. The times are pretty much dictated by what we had available at our community center and the SJB consultants could meet with. Again, this is an SJB meeting that we are facilitating, so SJB will be holding the meeting. But if you can make it out that day, I think, you know, if residents have questions of the council or recreation committee members. So if you can make it out, we tried to put one at each end of the parish, again, where our community centers were located, and we had dates available. Those are both highly booked facilities.
Cheryl, I had asked you to get in touch with the people from Walmart about a little piece of land.
Yes.
Are you working on that?
Yes, we went and looked, and I thought it was the piece on the side, but the people at Walmart said, no, it's back behind it. So, yes, we are looking at that.
Right. It actually borders between the little subdivision, and that's the people in that area along Magnolia Oaks and along Perkins Road would like to kind of keep it green space.
Right, and what I did tell SJB was that is something that we were looking at, and they also asterisk that on the plan. But if someone is there that night, I'll try to have some pictures, and we can put that into the plan. But I, too, would like to see it green. I think if we tried to do too much more there, we would run into parking and those kinds of issues. So, but the residents
one of the things was a dog park.
I know, and I've got, believe it or not, I've had about 25 calls over the last 3 or 4 months for dog parks. And when I tell you what's out there for dog parks, it just blows my mind. But it's out there. Most cities have mandates about what you can and can't do with your pets and their behavior. So, you know, we just talked about stormwater runoff. Well, that's kind of in the same boat. So as these large cities mandate this, these people want a place to take their pets, and their front yard is just not good enough anymore. So that's a growing trend as well. Having said that about the public meetings, I look forward to having you there and the input as we move to a master plan for recreation. And I think once you have a master plan, you can show the people, and then we can hopefully look for some reoccurring funding. But I think we need to be able to go with a uniform plan to the public.
Mr. Dempsey Lamb.
Real quick, a bucket truck that we've been working on, Michelle. What I know. I guess I'll pick up the ball here and run with it. We really need to look at getting this bucket truck put in the budget, you know, for the lighting problems that we're having. How many trucks Breck?
Breck has 3.
Has 3. Okay. You know, I'm not going to do anything now. I want to just, you know,
as we do the budget,
start looking at this, because we definitely, I'll put it on the next meeting.
I will tell you, Councilman, I looked into the scissors lift, and while I was in Indianapolis, they were doing a lot of renovation in the RCA Dome. And the scissor lift, once you get over a certain height, they go to the boom, and not the scissor lift, but the little whatever. But again, Indianapolis Parks and Recreation, bucket trucks.
Right.
Bucket trucks. So we would really like to have that on our Christmas list.
All right, then, Ms. Cinnamon, can you make sure the bucket truck is on our next agenda item, okay? All right, Mr. Duncan, you fine? I have one question, Michelle. Mr. Hillenbeck said about the 13 additional acres, and you said they would be on the next council meeting for approval?
I don't know. I had called and asked that it be put on the agenda. It's an active donation. It's past legal. All we need to do is to sign the active donation. So we are at the point where I felt I needed to have it placed on the agenda, and I thought you called the council chairman.
Okay, because I mean, I need to know that because I want to put that on the recreation. If you're going to do the active donation.
Would you like to bring it before the recreation first and then do it the following council meeting? I mean, I can
Well,
get
all
you
we
a
have to
copy
do
of
is
the
make
active
I mean,
donation.
I don't know if we made a motion to it in the past or not. I don't recall. So we can make a motion.
I think the way we did it the last time, you asked if Councilman Valentine asked if we had seen the property, and we told him yes. And I'm not sure who made the motion, but you all voted to accept it unanimously. So I'm not sure.
We're not saying that we're not going to accept the property. It's just
that
that
the
we
way-
just want to make sure it goes under recreation for the next regular
got you.
meeting.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't place it on the agenda.
And just one other comment. Yeah, and on that area, Cheryl, of course, we talked about this. There is a possibility of doing doggy walking at that park as well as walk trails, as long as Bayou Manchac and Cotton Bayou are not flooded. So.
No, and whatever we put there has to withstand the water coming up and the water going down. So that's kind of what we're looking at. But it really is a beautiful piece of property.
That's it. Okay, then we have two people to speak, and they have 3 minutes. And Mr. Darrell Trahan was first, so he want to address the ABA issue. I'm hoping on the on the agreement that we're working on. Mr. Trahan.
Good evening. I thought it was some good stuff that Ms. Kitchen introduced tonight, showing some diversity in recreation, and a lot of it for the youth of the parish. I think it's a positive thing moving forward. I'm here representing Ascension Baseball Association, so I'll keep it to baseball from this point going forward. It's interesting to see that movement has taken place in diversification of recreation in the parish. It's kind of interesting, though, we've been talking about the issues that are impeding the progress and fulfillment for baseball, the youth. Why there hasn't been a lot of movement in regards to that. I think it's a legitimate question. A lot of my fellow board members and association members want that question asked tonight. Also, another request from a lot of association members was to see if y'all would entertain moving the time of this meeting back 6 o'clock so that we can have more participation from people that are involved in recreation. Just request for consideration. Mr. Hillensbeck has done some great things in his district, accomplished with Oak Grove facility. I'd welcome his involvement to see if he can get some timely action with regards to the issues I won't enumerate tonight, but it was powerful stuff that he was able to accomplish, which I own a home in his district also. So I'd like to see some fulfillment for Ascension baseball participants, thousands, and no reason that any other thing should be sacrificed for another. So that's all I have to say tonight, and look forward to hearing some responses as to when appropriate actions will be taken. Okay, thank you.
And Mr. Tran, I just want to let you know your request on moving recreation meeting. Hopefully, at the beginning of the year, we will be discussing that, and that will be probably one of the issues. You're not the only one that just brought that up.
I appreciate you taking that into consideration. That was several people asked.
Do you want to hear a motion to take it under advisement and make it official? I'll make that motion, take it under advisement.
We're going to take that under advisement the first
Is there a
of the year.
second? You the chairman of it.
Thanks again, Mr. Tran.
Thank you.
All right. And I have Miss Bobby Odom. And she's going to speak on the skate park.
Yes, sir. With due respect to the baseball parks, which I do not want to take away from, but I think that we have enough baseball parks. I think we need to have something more available for our youth. I'm tired of telling my son to go out in the street and play on a skateboard. There is absolutely nowhere in this parish for our sons or our daughters to go skateboard. They can go to Baton Rouge. I have a tape here that will show they're being chased down by the police in Baton Rouge. There's a lot of good things that come out of skateboarding. And did you know that it's probably the most popular sport growing in the nation today is skateboarding? Pardon me?
I thought it was
Yeah, it's a fact.
LSU football.
Did you know that in Mission Viejo, California, that they opened a woman's skateboard park, and in the first week we had 400 women that joined the skateboard park? So, I mean, they're like 50 years old. So, I mean, like, it's a trend. It's like we have to realize, people, there is more happening out there for the youth today besides baseball. Now, my son played football, soccer, baseball. But most of all, what I saw at a lot of the baseball parks, hate to tell you, a lot of fighting. Parents fighting. I have not seen that in any skateboard park yet, to this day. So, I want y'all to please keep an open mind. You know, get current, stop being antiquated, and give our youth something to do besides playing in the street and on a baseball park. There's a lot out there happening. Please keep your mind open. Now, there's a lot of ways you can go with the skateboard park. You can either go with the concrete or you can go with the ramps. Now, the concrete is going to be probably a little bit more of the maintenance, wear and tear. If you go with the ramp, it won't be, you know, as often. So, anyway, I just really would like to see Ascension Parish come out of the antiquated state and get current. We need to do something else for these people, for our kids around here. Appreciate it. And I want to tell you, too, that I'm here, as soon as we get that tax ID number, to go and get some people to donate. I'm here to do that, 100%. And but I don't want to see the money allocated toward the baseball park. Okay? There's just enough baseball. My son is a skateboarder. He's 16. He's thinking of making a career of that. I'd really like to see him be able to go someplace where it's legal to skate. I appreciate it. Thanks for your time. Thanks for having me.
All right. Ms. Olin, you got one. Mr. Doug Hillenbeck.
Yeah, Ms. Odom, thank you for coming and speaking. And of course, everybody knows I'm very open-minded about a lot of issues out there, but I'm certainly open to skateboarding. I see it as a sport we need to try to accommodate here in Ascension Parish. And I just got one question for you. We got one facility out here in Ascension Parish that's called Lamar Dixon. There's just concrete everywhere.
Yes.
And have y'all had any success in maybe going over and trying to use some of the buildings there as for skateboard activities?
Well, we have, but there's like the railings and things of that such that skateboarders like to use.
Right.
And that's against the law.
Right. Well, one of these days, if we ever get a chance to purchase that, I call it a gift horse, for $7.5 million. It's a facility cost you about $100 million today if you were to build it. But if the parish ever buys it, maybe we can do some skateboarding out there and make that available to accommodate these people. And of course, everybody knows where I stand about Lamar Dixon. So
appreciate that.
I think it's a gift from the Dixons that they want the parish to have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Ms. George.
I just have a quick question for the committee and anybody else here who can answer it. I don't think it may have been the last meeting we had a copy of some sort of plan that was done, I think in the 90s, that was 93, 94, thank you, that was put out. And I don't know, but that may have been, was that the last time we actually made an effort to go out to the public to ask them what they want in their parks?
If I may, I've been doing my little research on it.
I would say, and those of you that have been on the council or involved in this, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say that that's the last organized effort we had to get the public involved, which is why this master plan process that we're doing with SJB is imperative, so that we know exactly that we're on the right path and we're doing what the citizens want. So their input is vital for those 2 meetings. Then after those meetings, we will do a survey online. So,
are y'all? How are y'all going to publicize the online survey? I mean, what are we going to do to make people
I don't know.
aware?
That would be through SJB. SJB has been contracted to do that with the grant, and so however they do that, it will just be access to our website. My only question was, one person, one survey, and they've assured me that that's the way it will be done. It will be valid and it will be reliable in its study.
Yeah, I think it's vitally important. I agree with you totally. We have got to get input from the public about what they want in our parks. And if the last time we did it was, 10, 12 years ago, things have changed vastly here. And when we talk about what we want to do and the plans and the funding, I think it's just really critical that we make a big effort to try to get people involved in giving feedback.
Well, and I would say as legislators, probably the most important thing that we could do is purchase land. And you've seen the cost of land out there, but it is only going to get more expensive. So had we heeded the advice 20 years ago to buy land, we wouldn't probably be struggling the way that we are now. But that is going to be an absolute must, as you're going to have to purchase more land if recreation will grow. So.
Okay, Ms. Sheriff Fontenot?
I just wanted to set the record straight about the Lamar Dixon. We have gotten comments from too many people that some of us are not in favor of Lamar Dixon, when that's absolutely not true. Lamar Dixon is a great facility and it is a great buy, but anytime you buy anything, you have to have money to buy it. Some of us sent forth and voted for a tax to send it to the people to vote for that tax so that we would have the money to buy the facility. Today we are leasing it. Had we done that 2 years ago, we would now own it, and it would already have money in a kitty to renovate it. And it does not have it now because that was vetoed. Thank you.
I can only tell you from a recreation department standpoint, I have had no calls about Lamar Dixon, none, in 2 years. I think that Lamar Dixon is perceived as a council issue. I don't run Lamar Dixon. It's not really under my department. So I don't really get a lot of feedback other than just what I hear as a citizen. I will tell you that recreation is using it for airplanes.
I'm going to have to cut you off. Lamar Dixon is not on the agenda. I'll let that's it. Miss Oldham, I'm here to tell you that we're looking into the skate park, and that's one of the things that this committee is working hard at. Okay, we know there's a money issue. Bottom line, it's a money issue. Okay.
Remember the Buckskin Bill walk? Okay, perhaps we could do a...
Come to the microphone, please.
Go ahead, there, Mr. Chairman. Go ahead.
She wants to do fundraising. She's talking about fundraising.
If we did a fundraiser for Lamar Dixon, if everybody in this parish would give us $1, we could buy Lamar Dixon. No problem. Let's consider that.
Miss Owen, once again, Lamar Dixon is not on this agenda item. Okay, so we're not going to talk about Lamar Dixon no more. That's it.
Okay.
All right. So moving on.
Thank you.
Let's put the worm.
Moving on to the next item, and that is West Ascension Recreation update. And West Ascension Recreation is not here to what you come, so we're going to bypass that one. That's item number 5. Moving on to West Ascension Recreation contract with the parish. Currently, this contract is up on October the 13th, and
They don't have a copy.
it's the only copy right here that I have. And that copy of that contract is basically up for renewal by October the 13th. And
Mr. Chairman,
yes,
has anything changed from last year on the contract, or is it basically the same contract?
it's the same contract.
I make a motion, we accept it, move to the full council for approval.
Hey, we got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Yeah, we'll second that.
Have a motion on the floor to approve the. You have
Yeah, Mr. Oliver, I think I spoke with you earlier, and you was interested in going for just to the end of the year until a new administration comes and to revisit it.
That's the thing we've been
Is that your
doing.
recommendation?
That's my recommendation. We've been doing it to everybody else, and I don't see why we don't do this contract the same. Ms. Sheriff Fontenot.
I withdraw my motion, Mr. Chairman.
I did hear, something that the mayor, I think, of Donaldsonville wanted to relook at something. So I'm not saying that we should cancel it or anything like that.
No.
But we really need to have all parties available. We don't even have a copy of this tonight, but we need to see the copy, each have a copy, and then we also need to talk to the parties to see if they really want to renew it, is what I'm saying. Some of the parties may not be in agreement to renewing it. We just need to make sure that everybody is on board.
Okay, so we have the motion to withdraw the motion to accept the contract, to approve the contract.
Well, I'd like to make another motion now that that's been withdrawn, my original motion. My motion now is to go ahead and accept the contract that's in place until the end of the year, because this contract expires October 13th. And we'll go ahead and we'll keep the contract going since there are no changes in it until the end of the year. And that'll give an opportunity for all parties involved to visit and work out the details for the new contract that the new council will consider. So that is my motion, Mr. Chairman.
Do I have a second on that motion?
I don't have a problem with that. You have a problem with that?
Nope.
Second?
Second.
Chairman,
All right. All in favor of the motion that's on the floor that we extend the contract to the end of the year to the new administration come on board? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All against? I have it. Item number 7.
Motion adjourned.
Got a motion adjourned. Do I have a second? The chairman, sir. You got a second on the floor? All in favor of the meeting adjourned say aye. Aye.